Hey there, Pisces. Welcome to your reading for the week of September 29th, I think. I don't know. It'll be in the title. Your first card is number 29. It says Giraffe, see the big picture. You have this dove spirit. It says Be Peace on it. Yeah, so it could be a good big picture week for you. I think, we're basically in October now, and I think October, I haven't actually done the October readings yet, but I'm about to. And I have a feeling that October will be a little bit of a smoother month for you. And, so that's nice. And, this is kind of like the first week, if you want to call it that. So there could be some peace coming in for you. You have the star. The star is the card of seeing the big picture. The star, it has this bird on it, which is an ibis. And the star can come up when we have to, zoom out. And we have to look at the big picture. We have to see everything that we have accomplished so far in life, or whatever we've been working on, and that just helps us kind of put things into perspective. This is a big theme for you as well, Pisces. Eight of Pentacles, kind of picking something to work on and not getting overwhelmed with 900 projects, but we'll talk about that as we go along. You start here in your first row for your current general energies with the Moon, the Page of Wands, and the Nine of Swords. The Moon, of course, is your card. So whenever you show up as yourself, it kind of puts you in a position of power and strength. I actually feel pretty good about this. The Moon is somewhat challenging, although, I do like the Moon in general because it doesn't say stop on the Moon. The Moon just kind of says stay on the path that you're on and don't get off. And, but just intuitively, I kind of feel pretty good about this card for you. I feel just you basically showing up in the reading. And like I said, whenever you show up as yourself, it puts you in a position of power and strength. I think it would be a good week. We have this dog and wolf, dog and coyote, whichever you prefer. So I feel it would be a good week for you to kind of balance your domestic side and your wild side. That's what the dog and the wolf, dog and coyote represent. They kind of represent maybe, the Moon is part of the Fool's journey. And they say that maybe the Fool is being too domestic. Maybe he's playing it too safe. Maybe he's taking too many risks and he needs to take it more safe, right? And so there really is no answer. You have to be honest with yourself on that. But, if you feel like you should take bigger risks, you probably should with the Moon card here. You have the Page of Wands here. Page of Wands, of course, is about following your enthusiasm and your optimism and doing things that make you feel that way, which is probably one of Pisces' biggest things going on right now. I think Pisces has to, it's I think if you ask most Pisces what they want to do right now, they might not really have an answer, but actually deep down inside, you do have an answer. You do know what you want to be doing. You do know what makes you feel excited, enthusiastic, optimistic, all those things. But I kind of feel like the doing it part is the challenge, and also removing external expectations, which I kind of feel, if there was a challenge for the Page of Wands, then that would be the challenge, maybe, is other people putting their expectations, but even expectations that you don't know you have, or that other people have. So if you're thinking about, starting a project or an idea or creative project or a business, it's you, without realizing it, you might not be starting it because of, something someone said to you years ago. That's what I'm talking about here. And so I feel like you do know what to do, but you just have to get started. You have the Nine of Swords. Yeah, I feel the Nine of Swords is a very common energy right now. The Nine of Swords is kind of like Groundhog's Day. It just says every day is the same and nothing is changing. And I really don't feel much here for you, Pisces. That's kind of what I feel, is that something has to change, or it's you just have to change your, daily routine, or you have to, the card is asking you to try new things, but new things that you commit to, instead of just working on a new project for a day. Can you work on it for 90 days? Can you invest a solid amount of time into a new process, or can you invest a solid amount of time into a new direction in your life? And I feel like that's what the Nine of Swords is definitely asking you to do there, Pisces. So let's see where this is going for you. With the Moon, you have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, Nine of Wands is the Wounded Warrior. Nine of Wands says don't give up. It is weird. I almost feel like your star has become the Moon. It's imagine if you had a big dream many years ago or whatever. It's that's the star. And it's now it's a moon. Something has made you unsure or something like that. And I feel, but I would say the good news about the Nine of Wands is it's a card of perseverance, not giving up. It's a card of trying again. So I do feel that you are going to try something again that you've been dreaming of, but at the same time, I feel it's like, maybe when you were younger, you had that childlike optimism about, a certain idea or something that you wanted to do with your life, and maybe now as you've gotten older, it like becomes farther and farther away, if that makes sense. I don't know, kind of a deep reading, Pisces, this part at least. And, I think you need to realize that you can still accomplish whatever that star is. With the Page of Wands, you have the Queen of Wands. Yep, Queen of Wands is a card of learning as you go. She also kind of does her own thing. So she doesn't follow society. She doesn't follow society's rules. She kind of like lives her life as she wants to. And I feel that would be a good thing for you. She has this black cat here, and black cats during the times of tarot were considered unlucky. The whole point is that she just likes the cat. So that's why she has the cat. And so she just does what she wants, right? And I kind of feel that. She also follows her enthusiasm, her optimism, her light with this sunflower right here. It points towards the sun. And I feel this reading, at least the first part I should say, is encouraging you to get back to that, that optimistic, childlike place. Even though we only have one card really of the child, which is the Page of Swords. With the Nine of Swords, yes, you have the Page of Wands. Like, again, getting that enthusiasm back is probably what needs to happen. And, I'm cheating a little bit because of Neptune. Neptune will be retrograding into Pisces in October. And, I kind of do feel this is like it is like a little bit of a blessing for you, because I feel you will feel more optimistic during that time. Maybe you will feel more inspired once Neptune goes back into Pisces, and you will start moving forward. So, and you could be feeling this now, like, even though we're not there yet, we're close. Neptune's a big planet. It takes a long time. So, to move into a sign. So, again, maybe you are already feeling this optimism or this, that's not the word I want, the inspiration to do something this week. Next, we are going to look at what's coming in for you. You have this classroom card. It says self-evaluation, growth, and performance. You have this, and then you have this performance card that says expression, roles, and vulnerability. So, yeah, it's almost like the only person you are competing with right now is yourself, Pisces. Maybe that's what you need to realize. Even if you don't have any cards of competition here in this reading, but I kind of get this feeling of like you needing to realize that the competition is you, that you are the competition. You are the one that everyone is going to be kind of comparing themselves to. So, like, if you only knew that, I feel that maybe you would be taking bigger risks, or, it's like maybe you would be working on your ideas more on a deeper level if you only knew that. So, yeah, I feel like I need to tell you that here, Pisces. You have the Page of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and the Star. The Page of Swords is, of course, a card of curiosity. I feel like you need to get more curious about the star to the moon thing, right? Like, whatever your star dream was or has been in life, and even if it's turned into a moon where you're not sure if you can actually accomplish it or not, or maybe there's some fear or some illusion surrounding it. The Page of Swords, really as a solution, is curiosity, like looking into things and, finding new ways of working or creating or doing what you're doing. And I feel that would be very beneficial with this card. You have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups wants you to follow your heart, of course. Queen of Cups is, about following your heart. And you have the Ace of Cups right next to it. So both cards are heart-based cards, and whatever your heart is telling you to do, I would do it. She really values her heart above everything else. I always say this cup here, it doesn't even look like a cup. It looks like a trophy, and it kind of represents the fact that she really values she really values what her heart is telling her to do. And she also follows her intuition. I actually do feel that with this card as well, that you could be finally getting some messages this week. It just popped into my head. It was a message that popped into my head, Pisces. But you could definitely be getting some important, intuitive messages or having intuitive dreams at this time. You have the Star. Again, I think this has always been in your life. I think the Star is kind of like whatever you have always dreamed of having, or whatever you've always dreamed of accomplishing. For whatever reason, I think it would be very beneficial for you to think back to when you were your childhood. What did you watch on TV? What were your interests? What makes you feel like a child right now, even if you're 90 years old, right? And I feel that those things that you could think about really would hold a little bit of, gold for you, so to speak. I feel like those things would, maybe be an activity that you could do or could help you get back on track to the star. Again, we have that card that says see the big picture. And with the star, we have this bird here, and it kind of represents getting a bird's eye view. So it's like, yeah, maybe right now a goal seems impossible, but if you look at it from the top down and you kind of come up with a map that you can follow, then you can become much more successful much faster. The other thing I always feel with the star, and also you have the Ace of Cups here, is like the level of commitment. Same thing with the Eight of Pentacles. The star, she's kind of just dipping her toes in the water, but, I always say maybe she needs to dive into the deep end. She needs to make that full 110% commitment to something. And so if you're working or wanting to work or wanting to create something that's a dream in your life, I feel this, plus even the Eight of Pentacles, like I said, these are cards of seeing things through all the way to the end and like making the full 110% commitment. So maybe you're saying, I have tried to accomplish my dream, but it's like, did you go all the way? Because if not, then you haven't yet. With the Page of Swords, you have the Empress. Yeah, I think you're very attractive at this time, Pisces. We go down Ace of Cups to the Two of Cups. So if you're looking for love, you definitely could be, there could be a lot of interest for you here with the Two of Cups. I kind of feel we're entering into a time where Pisces has a good opportunity to meet a person in like public. And I know that's scary for Pisces, but I would definitely be doing things in public because you could probably attract love. I also feel like someone already has their eye on you, Pisces. The Page of Swords is looking over to the moon, which is you. So, there could be a person who's very interested in you. Maybe people, it's like, I kind of feel like this is their impression of you, that you're very fancy, Pisces, that you're very well put together and things like that. So, I don't know, take that for what it's worth. On top of all that, I definitely feel, Pisces, that in October, your shift is going, even though this is the last week of September or whatever, doesn't matter. I feel like your shift in October, starting now, probably, is going to be on abundance. So I do feel it is an abundant time for you if you put in the work. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Magician. Yeah, Magician kind of says you can have whatever you want if you follow your heart. Right here, he's even pointing to the Ace of Cups. So, manifesting from that place of love, manifesting from overflow as well with the Ace of Cups. Ace of Cups is pretty simple. We just have to do things that cause our heart to overflow. We have to do those things that truly fulfill us deep down inside, that we feel on a very deep level. And if we do that, then we will become very successful. With the star, here you go. You have the Queen of Cups again. I knew that was going to happen. So we have. How funny is it that both of these cards are repeating? But the Queen of Cups is about following your heart, like I already said, trusting your intuition, and kind of like bathing in that energy. That's the other thing. The star, with the star card, if you're diving into the deep end, then you're like bathing in the energy of what you want. Next, we're going to look at messages from your future self. You have this card. It says, and here you go. The whole entire reading. It says, your dreams need a practical plan. That's what I've been saying this whole time. You have this, adjustments are required. Yes. It's like how you start is not how you are going to finish. I feel like I've said this to you before. So there are going to be adjustments along the way, but that doesn't mean that what you're doing isn't working. It just means like the way that you're doing things might not be working at this second, but you could change that. I think the practical part is very important with this card that says your dreams need a practical plan. We're in a little bit of a practical energy right now. But I think the word practical here, it's not like you're being practical. It's as in you need to create something on Earth here. That's what practical means on this card. It's not like talking about like being practical. I think it's saying you need to make something 3D. You need to take something from the dream world and you need to bring it here on Earth. And then, you need to take the steps to make it happen. It's also a Taurus card. It's full moon. This card is full moon in Taurus. And so, Taurus is kind of like slow and plodding. And I think that's also part of the challenge for Pisces is like if you're going to build something, you have to build it for the long haul. You have the Four of Swords, the Ace of Cups, and the Three of Cups. Four of Swords is resting, relaxing, recovering. I definitely feel Pisces should watch their health. The entire month of October. Sorry, I'm not trying to turn this into an October reading, but, I always say the universe doesn't wear a watch, right? I get the messages that I get, and I feel like I need to talk about it, so, I don't know, deal with it. But, again, I think that all of October, I would be making sure that you're staying healthy, that you're taking care of yourself, all that other stuff. I also feel that more like meditation time would be good for you, especially if you are trying to come up with a practical plan. That could be good for you to find an idea and like what to do. I also feel like there are blessings coming in, Pisces. This person here is blessing this other person in this stained glass window. And this guy is hoping and praying for a blessing. He's hoping to receive some sort of blessing. So I do feel like it's almost like your higher self is saying there's no need to worry. This is the message I'm getting for you, is that there's no need to worry. The blessings you've been praying for are coming. And I feel like the reason I need to say that is because I feel like some of you feel to me like you're running out of time. Like you think you're running out of time, but you're not. I feel like your higher self, your future self, whatever you want to call it, is basically saying, no, you're not running out of time. You're perfectly on time. That doesn't mean you should be lazy and not work or anything, Pisces. But at the same time, again, there's no need to, stress out or, worry about how things are going. You have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups can, of course, be your emotions overflowing, being very happy. I do think there could be a love offer coming in for you here, Pisces. Really, I kind of feel Pisces is entering into a funny time, because it wouldn't surprise me to hear from a bunch of you, like by March of next year. Let's say you haven't had a relationship for years. It wouldn't surprise me if you get into a relationship at this time, and then all of a sudden everybody's interested, right? That is kind of like the time that Pisces is entering into, where it's they say when it rains it pours, right? And so I kind of feel that for Pisces love life, where it's all of a sudden you could end up getting, in a relationship, and then there's a bunch of offers as well. So, definitely something to think about. But again, I think more importantly, this is encouraging you to follow your heart at this time, which is what I would do. You have the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is an amazing card for socializing, but Three of Cups is a card of your concentrated connections. It's those really strong connections that actually matter. And those are the connections I would be focusing on if you are hoping to be in a connection, or if you are getting into a connection. That's what I would focus on here with this card, is something that really actually matters. As far as dealing with people, same thing. It's it doesn't, there's only 3 people on the card. There's not a million people on here. So you might find yourself spending time with less people, but spending more time with only some people, right? The people who really matter, the people who really lift you up. These people are celebrating a harvest, and we have a lot of great harvest cards here. Empress, this card, the 8 of Pentacles is great for having a future harvest. So I definitely feel if you're working towards anything, there are some good results that you're working towards for sure. So let's see. With the 4 of Swords, you have the 2 of Swords. Yeah, 2 of Swords is this or that thinking. She's thinking this or that, but really things are going to go this way over here. I literally just said to you that how you think things are going to go is not how they're going to go. Or I said something like that on this, adjustments are required card. And so, the 2 of Swords is about staying flexible and, kind of being open to all ways of working on whatever you're working on, or, completing different projects and things like that. So I feel that. With the Ace of Cups, what do you know? You have the Ace of Cups. Obviously, your most important message this week for whatever reason. So it might be a good time. One thing I will say about the reading, Empress, Four Swords, this card, obviously it would be a really good week. And the Star as well. The Star is about taking care of yourself. All these cards are about nurturing and taking care of yourself. So this last week of September might just be a good week for you to prepare for October. And instead of burning yourself out this week and, forcing yourself to do things and all that other stuff, it might be a good week to just take care of yourself and do something nice for yourself this week, Pisces. You might be surprised by the results, right? Put yourself first for once. Maybe that's a good idea with this card. With the 3 of Cups, you have the 3 of Wands. Yeah, definitely expanding out into the world. I feel like Pisces is one of the signs that will be taking up a lot of space in the future. And by space, I mean that could mean you get a lot of attention. It could mean that you play a bigger role in your life, or in your career, or whatever. And so there's a lot of opportunity. Now, he has to get on these boats. These boats, a lot of people read this card as your ships coming in, which it can represent, but and there's definitely a lot of that energy here. There's a lot of abundance. You could be absolutely experiencing that. But I always say that there's a bigger picture going on here. Those ships are pointing out of the harbor, and they represent an opportunity for him to do something he's never done before. He can go on an adventure that he's never been on. And so I would definitely encourage you to, go on any adventures, or if you're thinking about starting something new, adventure, business-wise or career-wise, obviously it could be very successful for you. But I think the trick is, it's you can't, again, he can't just walk to the edge of the water and dip his toes in the water and say, oh, this didn't work. he has to get on the boats, and he has to commit to not, he has no freaking clue where he's going. So it's like he has to commit to the process, commit to the journey. I'm definitely getting that message for you in this reading, Pisces. Your outcome row for the good stuff, you have this Awakening Genius card and the Spirit of Gratitude card. Yes, I think you're like a little coiled up spring that's ready to burst right now, Pisces, is what I feel. It's like, if you've ever worked on anything mechanical, sometimes there's like a little spring where if you take a screw off or you slide something off, the spring goes shooting all over the place. I feel like that's you. I feel like there's a lot of tension in that little body of yours that's all kind of sprung up and ready to burst out, right? It's like the genius is ready to explode out of you, but you have to like use it so that people can see it. And so whatever you're thinking about, whatever this star, moon, blah, blah, blah thing is, then I would get your ass moving for sure. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Two of Cups. Eight of Pentacles is a card of putting in the work, making it happen. He's focused on one thing. He's putting the work into only these 8 pentacles. He's not working on, again, 900 things at once. So he is focusing on doing one thing at a time. And that's definitely going to be important for you, Pisces, not, burning yourself out, making sure that you're not doing too much. And, that's what I would really focus on here. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords, like everything you want and desire in your life. I mean, no, it's not. Ten of Swords says something is dead, done, over with. I was thinking about the Ten of Pentacles, but, the Ten of Swords in the good stuff can represent a blessing in disguise. So some of you, I feel more like you're being pushed towards a blessing in disguise, and that's what you need to realize is that it's like you're not being punished, and I feel like that's what Pisces needs to realize right now, is that there might be certain things going on that like feel like a punishment, but it's like not. It's like the universe it's like, I don't know, it's like, imagine if you've been eating just slop your entire life, and it's like there's a pizza over here in your kitchen, and the universe is like, okay, it's like the universe is taking the slop away from you, and you're like, no, I need to eat, I'm hungry. But it's like there's something much better in the kitchen. It's like that's the feeling I get off of this card. It's like the universe is trying to push you towards that pizza. You've been eating crap your entire life, right? So there you go. You have the Two of Cups. Two of Cups is a perfect match. Definitely could be love coming in for you here, Pisces. I'm telling you, right, I feel like Pisces is going to be very popular moving forward. This is only going to increase as we move through next year. And even including getting into like 2027 and all that other stuff. So, I think the beginning of 2027 is like the real breath of fresh air for you, Pisces. Not that this 2026 is bad, because it's not. I think it'll be a better year for you. But, 2027 is like a real breath of fresh air for you, I think, and then moving forward. But, what I'm trying to say here is, again, there definitely could be a solid connection. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. This is like, if I put in all this work, I'm not going to get a result. It's like, that's the fear. I guess the good news is that the Nine of Swords is coming up in the good stuff. So it's probably saying that you're overcoming the Nine of Swords. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. Yes, there's something better behind you right here. He's grieving the loss. Again, exactly what I said on that card. Literally, you cannot make this shit up. I was literally saying this, that, he's grieving the loss of something he no longer enjoys, but there's something better behind him. I literally said that. How crazy is that, Pisces? But it's almost like I'm psychic or something. But, again, that's what I would say here, is that, again, there's a pizza in the kitchen. Go get it, With the Two of Cups, you have the Wheel of Fortune. I feel like this is a complete turnaround for you here, Pisces, if you're attracting love. Like, I feel like this person will be, completely different than what you've experienced so far. And this person could even increase your luck, literally. It's like, I don't think anyone can do anything for us. But it's like, obviously, if you're in something positive and you feel more positive, that could increase your luck, kind of. You have this vine. It says, seek out information that will help you. Yes, we have to be nerds right now. We have to be data nerds. We have to study, learn, do as much as we can. That's it. You have this parrot. I just said parrot. This is a parrot. It says, someone will gossip about you and all your secrets. Yes, we had this eclipse yesterday in Virgo. There's something weird about that eclipse. Even though it happened yesterday, again, the energy can last for 6 months. Your job is to ignore it. I love free attention, and you should too. So if people are talking about you, they're paying attention. You have this eye card. It says psychic ability, trust your intuition. Your intuition is probably helping you here with the Queen of Cups twice, the Ace of Cups. You know, it's like guiding you towards something bigger and better in your life, and I feel like you need to definitely trust that. You have this face card. It says secret admirer. Yes, I think that you definitely absolutely have a secret admirer with that Page of Swords. They might be watching this video right now. So if you are one of the Pisces, if you are one of the Pisces secret admirers, you might as well shoot your shot there, Pisces secret admirer. But, again, for some of you, you clearly have a secret admirer. You have the Stork card. It says news of a birth or a new business opportunity. Yeah, you are birthing a whole entire new life. Again, you are about to become very popular. You're going to have a lot of those moments. Mark my words. I'm going to point again and be rude. Mark my words, Pisces. You're going to have a lot of those moments where people who didn't support you were like, oh, I always knew you would be successful. You know, that type of thing. So there you go. But pretty interesting here, Pisces. So thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your week.